Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my FlossTube channel. My name is Carla, and this is Carla Being Crafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but other crafts and fun things, a little bit about what's going on in my life, and I have a good time with you guys for 45 minutes every week. If this is the first time you've come to my channel, then thank you very much for stopping by. If you have been here before, if you're already a subscriber, then I cannot give you guys thanks enough because you are really making my life so much better and happier, and I really appreciate it. So today is Saturday, August 17th. It's pretty early for me. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. So I got up a little bit earlier than I normally do on the weekends. I have my alarm set for 7:30, so on Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays, so I can sleep in a whole, hour and a half later than I do during the week. But I got up earlier today probably because Big Era was stomping on my head wanting to have his breakfast. So he got me out of bed, and I decided I'd go ahead and record early today before it gets warm, although it's supposed to be a cool day today here. It's only supposed to get up to like 77 or 78, so I'm super happy about that. Anyway, again, it's Saturday. It's 2 days after my birthday. I had a really good birthday week, so I'll talk about that during the video, about different things that happened and different things I did, etc. And so anyway, let's get started. I'm gonna put the glasses on so that I can see, because I'm looking at the screen now and I'm just basically looking at a blurry blob of my face. Which is so fun, the whole getting older thing. So there, now I can see. I have my bottle of iced tea here. I normally don't like to drink or anything on camera, but I thought I'd have it here just in case, because the last couple videos I've gotten a little scratchy, and I woke up this morning I'm a little scratchy too. I think it's allergies, but anyway, so if I do need to take a sip, then please forgive me. But let's see. So I did have a really great stitchy filled birthday week. I went out to dinner, a lunch, way more than I normally get to do. I went out last Sunday with my stepdaughter for lunch, and that was really fun. And then Wednesday I went out with my friend Lori to Olive Garden, which was a big treat. And I got a dessert. I got a big piece of cake, which I only ate a couple bites of because I wanted to save it, so I for sure had cake on my birthday. Isn't that weird how like certain things, it's like you feel like it wouldn't be your birthday if you didn't have, that piece of cake, and I kind of felt like that, so I made sure that I had some. And then on my actual birthday on Thursday, my boss took me out to lunch with the office. When I say the office, there's only three of us. There's him and his sister and me, but assorted children and family members came as well. I've worked for Joe for, 24 years now, so I'm definitely like a member of their big Filipino family. Every year on my birthday, it's my choice where to go to eat, but I always want to go to Filipino food, because really, when else am I going to go to get Filipino food unless I'm with my Filipino friends? So we went out for Filipino food for my lunch for my birthday, so that was fun. And then tomorrow, on Sunday, I'm actually going to be meeting my brother and his family for kind of a birthday lunch too. So I had lots of going out to eat for my birthday, so that was fun. I do kind of want to give a little shout out, and also just kind of talk about how great this community is. I have to be honest, when I woke up on Thursday on my birthday, I had a little bit of the birthday blues, and was feeling a little not lack of like love in my life, but lack of like romantic love in my life, and I was feeling just a little bit down. And I got to work, and I had a little bit of free time, and I watched Erin, Two Martini Stitchers video, and I gotta say, watching FlossTube just made the birthday blues go away. I just, it set me up, made me feel good, and I was ready to have a happy day. And so I have to credit Erin because I do really enjoy watching her videos. But, you know, FlossTube in general for just really making my life just a little bit happier place to be. So I'm enjoying doing it. I'm enjoying watching it. Obviously, I'm enjoying the stitching. So, okay. I forgot to turn my phone on to airplane mode. I hope that this doesn't, so nobody calls me. Let's hope my mom doesn't decide to call early. Anyway, so yeah, so FlossTube is just, you know, made things better. I wanted to give a few quick shout outs to some people that I have been watching lately, and these are all fairly new FlossTubers. I do try and kind of search for FlossTube #1 and try and find some people that are new. And I know myself being fairly new, it can be a little bit, I don't know if frustrating is the right word, but you're so excited to be in this new community and you want everybody to watch you and to give feedback, and sometimes it's frustrating. You know, I'll be honest, it's frustrating when I go and on Facebook or whatever, and people are like, what FlossTuber should I watch? And everybody says the huge popular channels. And it's like, well, of course watch them. Everybody watches them. That's why they have 5,000 subscribers or 10,000 subscribers. But the people who are at like 100 subscribers or 200 or 300 or 600, you know, they deserve the love too. And, you know, that's how you get to be a bigger FlossTuber, is when people find out about you and go watch you. So I'm going to advocate for the little guys a little bit. And so a couple of the people that I've enjoyed watching recently, Who's Your Apple? She is just really fun to watch, just a real sweet lady. She started out saying that she was a monogamous stitcher, and over the course of like 4 or 5 videos, she now has like 4 or 5 projects going. So I don't know if FlossTube did that to her or what, but yeah, she's fun to watch. And I've been watching Stitchcraft with George. And George is actually Georgina, I think. She is in England. I don't know exactly where, but she has a lovely accent that I love listening to. And she's done a couple videos. She's very into the kind of kawaii type stitching, and she has done a ton of these really cute little things, and she finishes them all in hoops, like different color hoops and with trim and everything, and she's just really fun to watch. And she's doing a parrot right now that's really pretty. And let's see, Rolodex Stitches, a couple of people have talked about her. She's only made, I think, 2 videos so far. She is an expat in Japan right now. She just recently went there, and her first video, she was kind of lamenting the fact that she didn't really have any of her stitchy stuff yet because it was still on a boat going there. So I guess she went there. Her husband got a really good job opportunity, so they decided to, you know, take this opportunity to live in another country. And so so she's talking a little bit about that, which is great. And then of course her stitching, and she's really fun to watch. And oh, and her name is Carla too. So there's another Carla. And the last person, or the next person that I was going to talk about is also Carla, Craft Addict K. So that's craft_addict K. Her name is Carla also. She does videos with her 16-year-old daughter, Samantha. They started just about exactly the same time I did, maybe a week later, because they were at StitchCon and then started, I think, the week after that. So she's fun too. And so you got 3 Carlas, me, and then the 2 other Carlas I just mentioned. And then the last person I'm going to mention is Carol Zook, which is C Zook Stitch. And she's really good to watch too. She's a really knowledgeable person, and she's going to be kind of starting the SAL I'm going to talk about later that I want to participate in, but that's a whole thing I'll talk about later. Anyway, so those are my shout outs for this week. I encourage you to go check those people out, give them the FlossTube love and encouragement that you guys have given me. And yeah, that's what this community is all about. It's just encouraging each other in our stitching endeavors and life endeavors and everything. So yeah, I encourage you to go watch those people. Okay, so let's get into my whips for this week. As I said, it was my birthday week, so I was working on my Black Cat birthday sal, and I did start the project on my birthday that I had been talking about. But before I show you those, I do have some progress on the oops, okay, do we have better glare or worse glare with less light today? This is the Vino Bianco, the second half of the Mill Hill gift that I'm making for my friend Tracy as sort of a housewarming present. So I was able to do some more beading last night on this. So that beading is all done. This green beading is new. And yeah, that's basically it. I am very much on track to get this finished this month, which I'm excited about, and I'm sure Tracy is too, because she's been hearing me talk about it for like 2.5 months now, and she's probably like, what the heck is taking you so long? But yeah, so I'm totally on track to get that finished this month, which is very exciting to me. And I feel like I'm also on track to finish my red kitten, which was my Black Cat birthday sal that I'm doing this year. And I have to say thank you so much to all the people that are participating in this with me. It is really thrilling to have people post their work and put my sal tag on it, and it makes me feel really good that, you know, even you're working on your stuff, but just saying that, you know, it's kind of in honor of my birthday made me feel really good. So this is where I'm at on her. I'm almost at the bottom of the dress. I mean, obviously I need to fill that in. It doesn't seem like when you start doing something like this how long it's going to take, but I mean, that is a heck of a lot of red skirt. So on the corners here, that's the end of the red, but then the red comes down a little bit in kind of a curve, and then there's a row of beads, and then there's the whisper, and then her legs. So my plan is to finish the red first, then I'm going to skip the whisper part, and then I'm going to do her legs and her feet, and then I'm going to go back and finish the white whisper on the skirt and the beading and the black whisper on the cat. I think I'm going to do probably the black whisper on the cat last, just because I'm not sure how whisper, I've only worked with it like one strand that I did on my Glendon Place, and then I had to rip it out. So I haven't really worked with it yet, and I don't know how fuzzy it is as far as shedding, and I obviously don't want to shed the black fuzz all over the rest of the project. So yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the white whisper and then the black whisper last. But I totally feel like I'm on track. I'm going to get this done before the end of the month, which is great. And that's, I think, what I want to do going forward. You know, in August when I start a birthday sal, I want to pick something that's small enough that if I work on it, you know, a couple times a week, that I can get it done. So those two, hopefully, you know, I mean, it's only the middle of the month. I have 2 more weeks to get those finished, and I think that I definitely am going to. I kind of have fallen now into patterns, and I'm realizing what works best for me. I am not overly stressed with having like maybe 10 whips, but I cannot work on all 10 of them every week. So I've kind of noticed that each week I've kind of picked 3 or 4 things that I focus on and work on those, and then the next week they're not necessarily all the same, but that's how I'm moving forward, and that seems to be working for me. So I'm going to get, as I said, these 2 done this month, and which is good because I have plans to start 2 more things starting at the very end of the month, beginning of September, which I will talk about in a minute. Okay, the other things I worked on, oh no. Okay, I did work one evening on the punch needle that I started. So let me show you the back, which is where you work on a punch needle, so you can see how much more I have to go. But then this is what it looks like on the front. And I am enjoying doing it as just sort of an alternative. I don't think I'd want to do it like every day. I don't even necessarily want to do it all one evening. I think I worked on this for an hour or so, and then I pulled out the red kitten one night this week. But I'm liking it. And I did order one other little pattern from Etsy that, you know, is coming in that I think I'm going to try, because it's like a kit in the, you get the pattern and you get the fabric, but it doesn't actually come with the floss. And it's, I mean, obviously I'll show it to you when I get it. It's a, like a wreath of either lavender or, you know, heather, purple, wreath of purple flowers. And I think I'm gonna try and use like maybe a highly variegated color, maybe one of my you know, new overdyes that is really variegated, because I think that would look really cool with the punch needle. So that should be an interesting experiment to see how that works. The last thing I worked on this week was the highly anticipated Lion of Judah. As a reminder, this was a kit that I got off of eBay for a really great price. When I actually opened the package this week, because I hadn't yet, and looked at the flosses, I realized like what a great deal it was, because, you know, as I said, I got 3 full skeins of silk floss. Then there were two rings with like a little bit of silk floss. But then this is a Vera Soie Royale. I don't know exactly what that is. It's a green. I put it in this little baggie to protect it. But there's some stuff in here that's like really like intense. Like the metallic threads are, yeah. And then, okay, there's this thing, which when I was looking at it through the package, I was like, what the heck? I don't even know if you guys can see anything except for the, okay, there. Okay, I thought, is there a worm in there or something? This is called bouillon, I guess, and it's like a tiny little spring almost looking thing, and I guess you're supposed to cut it into 3 pieces, and then it goes at the end of the lion's tail. It looks like it might be smushed a little bit, like right there, because honestly I have no idea how old this kit is, but I don't know. There's a lot of scary sounding stitching involved in this. Like there's a lot of couching, and you know, and I don't know if it's just the way it's described. I mean, I understand what couching is, but the way it's described, it makes it sound really difficult to do. I only got a little bit done. I just really wanted to just get a start on this. The silks are so soft to stitch with. They're really nice. So yeah, I think I would eventually like to try some more silk. I actually went ahead and I bought some stretcher bars, some 8-inch stretcher bars, which the pattern said it was required. I just thought it would be easier because this, you know, the mono canvas is pretty stiff, and I just thought it would be easier to work with if I did have it on the stretcher bars. I never got stretcher bars before. I just ordered some on Amazon, and they're like balsa wood, so I also ordered a set of just these push pins. It was very easy to put that in. So yeah, when I do needlepoint in the future, it'll be really easy to reuse this, because this is going to be small. I think it's only like going to be that big when it's done, so obviously it doesn't need to be framed in this or anything like that. But anyway, I know there's not much to see yet, just like this is his front leg and everything, but I just wanted to get a start on it. So, and I did that on my birthday, so this was definitely my actual birthday start, which I don't know, I kind of like that. I found that I really like having either a meaning or a reason or something behind the piece I'm stitching. And I mean, not everything has to be like that, obviously. Excuse me. But but yeah, I enjoy, like, you know, that this is for my backup birthday style, and this is for my friend, and this one's for my mom, and this is because it's my birthday. I like having those reasons behind things. So so that is something that I'm looking towards when I plan my future projects. So okay, so I haul and plans and stuff. As I said, I have plans to start 2 things at the end of the month. The first thing, I'm going to start this on the 29th, which is my dad's birthday, and I am going to go ahead and start the Winnie the Pooh. I have that other project, the To Everything There Is a Season project, that is also kind of in honor of my father. I'm going to kind of set that one aside for a while until I finish this one. I just really want to do this Winnie the Pooh so bad, and so I'm still debating on the balloon color. I picked a couple different flosses, and again, I'm going to do it on this gelati fabric, which has these big pink splotches in it, which totally look like clouds to me, and I don't know where I'm going to put it yet. I'm going to have to really kind of sit down with my flosses and the pattern and figure out where it would look best. It really needs to be ironed before I start working on it, because yeah, I guess it's even hard to like see in real life with those big creases. Yeah, but I'm still debating on the balloon color. I ordered, I put in an order at 123 Stitch for something, and I ordered like 3 different ThreadWorx. So I have some more choices. This is what I'm going to use for Winnie the Pooh. It's kind of a really nice honey and brown variegated, and I think that that will look good on him. Especially like on his tummy, I'm going to like do it circular. So, you know, I don't want him to be striped, but I'm going to do it circular. And I think that will look good for Winnie. And then the only other color besides black is the balloon color. I picked out like a really pretty like steely blue, and then I realized I only had one 5-yard skein of it, and I was afraid I would run out, and it was an overdyed. So even though I thought that was the perfect color, I was afraid I would run out. So the 2 options I have right now, but again, I ordered a couple more. I have this 2D Fruity, which is Gentle Arts, which I ordered extra. I ordered Gentle Arts for the next project I'm going to talk to you about, and I ordered extra of this one because this one was hard to find. So when I found it, I ordered extra skeins. This one I don't think this is going to be it. I mean, it's really pretty, but I don't think that it goes as well with the fabric. This is a variegated green. I want it variegated, but I don't want it like super variegated. Like I don't want it, I have ones that like goes from like purple to turquoise, and I think that's too much. So I want something a little bit subtler. This one might work. I really like green, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I'm gonna love it. Oh, it looks pretty. I don't know. But I ordered like a purple and another blue from ThreadWorx from 123 Stitch. So when I get those, then I can make the decision. If I get them next week, then I will probably hold them up again, and maybe you guys can kind of help me decide. But I'm really anxious to start this. I have a feeling it's going to be one of those projects that it's going to take longer than it seems like it's going to take, because it's bigger than it seems like it is, even though it's only 3 colors. But I'm kind of enjoying, like with the red dress on the red kitten, you know, I outlined the bottom and then it's just fill in. So I think that like with the balloon and stuff, it might be like that, and it might be just kind of a relaxing stitch that I don't have to think about. It's just going to be stitching. Okay, so then the next thing that I'm going to start in the end of August is a Sal. I think the tag is hashtag long dog Sal. I'm not 100% sure, but this is something that Carol Zook from Zook Stitch. I think she's starting it, posting it. Well, I don't know what the word is, but and it's just a long dog sampler, anyone that you want to do. I have to be honest, when I've looked at long dog samplers in the past, I haven't had like a huge desire to stitch them. I think that they're really pretty, but first of all, I'm not really into like monochromatic stitching. Like even on the one that I'm doing for my brother, as you know, I changed it and I'm doing it kind of rainbow threads and everything. But I saw this pattern because I kind of wanted to participate in the sale, so that was my motivation. But then I was like looking and I saw this pattern and I really, really like it. So this is called Froth and Bubble, and it is from a poem and from an Australian 18th century poet. And this is actually the second half of the poem. It's a 8-line poem. The first 4 lines are actually in the companion piece Froth and Bubble 2, but which is just as beautiful as far as like the bands, the flowers and the bands and stuff, but I don't like that part of the poem as well. So what it says is, it says, life is mostly froth and bubble, 2 things stand like stone, kindness in another's trouble, courage in your own. And that just really, really spoke to me. I mean, especially my life the last several years, I have had to have courage and fortitude, and sometimes it's hard to, when you're going through, crap in your own life, it's hard to be sympathetic to other people, but I need to remember to do that and to draw on my kindness, to, have sympathy and empathy for other people. And honestly, I couldn't have gotten through some of the stuff that happened to me without the people in my life who showed me kindness and love. So it means a lot. What the words of this mean a lot. The other thing about this pattern, okay, so I've talked about my friend Tracy every episode. So you guys know her. Anyway, she lost both of her parents this past year, which of course is hard for anyone. And her parents were lovely people. I hadn't seen them in many years. They moved away from California many years ago. They moved back to Virginia, where they were from, and everything was great for a while. Then they ended up having health problems, and her mom was dealing with Alzheimer's, and anyway, so she lost both of her parents this year. And in dealing with getting their affairs in order and everything, she got a really modest inheritance from, they were both teachers, from state teachers retirement, I guess. And she had told me quite a while ago that she was going to gift me a portion of that small inheritance, because she felt like that's what her parents would have wanted. That they would have wanted me to have something that they cared for me, and which was just sweet all around. And then she ended up sending it the week of my birthday, which, it was coincidence that that's when everything came together with her getting it, but then she thought it would be cool for me to get it for my birthday. And so we were talking about it after I got it, and, I said thank you and everything, and she's like, hopefully you'll get to do something nice with it. And I was thinking about it, and I had already purchased this pattern and the fabric for it, but I hadn't gotten the flosses yet. And then, what I thought was, I'm going to use part of that money to get the flosses, and then this pattern I'm stitching in honor of them. And I'm going to actually add, I don't know if you can see that, like, these bands, that's where the words are. I'm going to add, like, maybe 2 or 3 lines to this bottom one, because it says courage in your own, and then there's space for your initials and the date. But I'm going to add a couple lines underneath it, and I'm going to stitch, just small. I'm going to say stitched in honor of Jean and Paul Craig, so that I always have that memory. The fabric I got for it is It's just a white Aida, but it is an opal. I don't know if you can see that. I don't want to take it out of the package yet. But I decided to go ahead and I don't know if splurge is the right word, but I decided to go ahead and get the called for Gentle Art Samplers threads. I've never used them, but I thought, especially since this is going to be a special piece, that it would be nice to use those called for colors. The only one I'm not getting is, I didn't get the Raven because it's black. I mean, I know it's a little bit different, but it calls for like 10 skeins of it, and I thought that was kind of silly. I just got DMC black for that. But all the other ones, I got the Gentle Arts, the called for Gentle Arts, and I think it's gonna be really pretty, and it's gonna be really meaningful to me because the pattern in so many ways reminds me of her parents, which I didn't even realize when I got it, but looking at it, you know, just the flowers and the butterflies. Her mom loved butterflies, so the flowers and the butterflies and everything really remind me of her mom. And then the history behind it, and the meaning behind what, you know, some of the symbols, like the reason that it's acorns down here is because of Charles Stewart. Those were his symbols. So there's a lot of history behind this. Her dad was a history teacher. I think he was a history teacher. My dad was a history teacher. I think Mr. Craig was a history teacher too. But he was very into history anyway. And so just the whole idea of this sampler just really makes me think of our parents. So I'm really excited to do this kind of in honor of them. And then I'll have it forever to remind me of these special people who were in my life when I was a teenager. So that is going to be, as I said, the Long Dog Sal starting August 30th. And I believe that they decided to start August 30th because of Labor Day weekend here in the US. So, you know, a lot of people have Monday off, and so it's an extra day to sit and stitch and get really started on the Sal. So if you are interested in doing a Long Dog sampler, then join in. Sales are fun when people are participating, and it's great to go on Instagram and see all, you know, all the different participants. Speaking of which, if you are on Instagram at all, you really should check out the Common Threaded Stitcher tag. Even if you don't want to participate in it, it's really fun to read. And I've gotten to know lots of, you know, new people, and actually I found some FlossTube channels to watch through that because people have, you know, followed me or, you know, made a comment, and then I can kind of follow it back to theirs, and so it's really cool, and it's really nice to see all of these people with common threads, who are all over the country, all over the world, and, you know, we're all different, but we all have this love that we share, which is, it's just really neat, which is the whole point, right, of the thing. Okay, let's see, haul. So I talked last week about fabric that I was going to try even weave. I got these two pieces of Lugana on eBay, and I have a feeling that in the camera they're going to look the same. Very close to the same. This one is, they're both kind of gray blue. And I don't know, you guys, I look at this fabric and it looks like fabric. It doesn't look like cross stitch fabric to me because I'm so used to Aida, but I'm willing to try. And I did order actually a small piece of Jobelin as well to try out. So we'll see. I don't know when I'm going to get to doing a project on these things, but I'm definitely willing to try. Oh, and I do have a little bit of an update. I got a correction from my beautiful friend Tracy after my last video. She ended up last year doing a lot of research on fabrics for her own personal reasons. She was kind of like doing some studying on fabrics that would be comfortable for her to wear, to use. So I had said in the video that Aida was a natural fabric made out of 100% cotton, and linen is 100% flax, and those are natural fabrics. And I said something about Lugana and Jobelan not being natural fabrics. So that's kind of not quite true. They're not natural fabrics. Well, they're not natural fibers, but they are natural. So in other words, Jobelan and Lugana have viscose and rayon in them. Rayon and viscose are both made from natural plant materials, but I think she said rayon is wood fibers, wood pulp. But of course it has to go through a man-made process to turn that material that isn't a fibrous material into fibers that are weavable into fabric. So they're all natural materials that go into making those fabrics, as opposed to like polyester, which is 100% not natural. So those fibers are made of natural materials, but they're not necessarily made of natural fiber. Whereas cotton is a fiber, you know, you pull the cotton balls and then you spin it and weave it into thread, and I don't know what they do to flax, but it's also a fibrous thing, and they turn the fibers into thread, wool, alpaca wool, you know, those are all, they start out as fiber and they turn it into thread. Rayon and viscose and modal start out as plant material of some sort, and then they turn it into thread through a man-made process. So I know everybody was just like on the edge of their seats about that, but I thought I'd give you that information so you know. And I guess like rayon, you're gonna get that sheen with rayon, and I've had people, you know, comment and say they love Jobelan because it's so soft, and so that's the differences in the fabrics. It's just what it's made out of. Okay. Oh, what else did I get? I got this on eBay. This book, I think on Amazon it was like $17 or $18, and I saw it on eBay on an auction, and it was like at $2. So I bid $2.50, and then there was like $4 or $4.50 shipping. So I ended up paying about $7 for this book, which was still way cheaper. But it's kind of cool because it shows punch needle like 3D. Like you can make these flowers, and they're, you know, and they're sculptural. So I thought that was kind of cool because it kind of goes along with the beaded flowers that I've done. These butterflies, and basically, you know, I guess you cut them out and then you glue wiring on the back and stuff. And I don't know what, if, when I'm going to use this, but I just thought it was kind of a cool book to have. And when I got it for like $2.50 plus shipping, it was worth it. So I think that's it for most of my haul. I just have one more like group of haul. Things kind of come full circle, right? So I've said how much my mom was an influence on me when I started stitching because she used to stitch and everything like that. Well, my mom's been watching my videos. I send them to her because she doesn't know how to get onto FlossTube or YouTube. But I send them to her, and she's been watching them. And of course, you know, she's my mom, so she's proud and she loves them and etc. But she called me last week, we were talking, she's like, you know, I'd really like to try this. And it's not, you know, ability, it's physical, can she do it? So what I did, I went online and I got 11 count Aida. Because I'm hoping that she will be able to see this. This is really stiff, which I thought would be easier actually for her to hold. I got these really huge needles. Unfortunately, I don't think that the two biggest ones are actually going to work, even though those would be the easiest ones for her to hold. They're too hard to get through the fabric. Like, she's not going to have the strength to really push it through the fabric, and that's what those are going to require. This third one, which is still pretty big, I'm hoping that she'll be able to hold that, because that one, I think she can work with that. So I got her this fabric, and I got a big piece, but I cut a smaller piece for her, put it in a hoop, and then again, I didn't, want to go overboard, because I don't know if she's gonna like doing this. I thought regular DMC or any kind of floss that is stranded would be hard for her, because she won't be able to pull the strands apart, and you don't necessarily want to stitch with the whole big thing. So I ended up getting this like package of pearl cotton fiber, because you don't have to pull it apart. So yeah, so I got this little set of pearl cotton from Amazon for her to try out. I think she can still double it and like, I'll show her the loop start method and stuff, because she never used to do that when she was doing needlepoint and everything. And then there's a couple patterns in this cross stitching magazine, The World of Cross Stitching, that I think would be really good for her to start with, because they're simple. So there's this whole page of, I guess they're supposed to be cards, but I mean, honestly, you take the words off and it's just a cute little pattern. So, and there's not very many colors in each one, and they're pretty simple shapes. So she's gonna try it, and we'll see, if she likes it, if she's able to do it, that's great. If she doesn't, no big deal. She has a ton of other stuff that she can do. But I just think it's kind of cool that the world kind of comes full circle, and like, I started stitching because of something she asked me to do for her, and that led me to stitching, and I loved it so much that I'm encouraging her now to try stitching again. I'll be in a more simplified form than what she ever used to do before, but I'm hoping that she enjoys it, and we'll see. I'll give you a progress report once I get it to her and see if she likes it. I think her biggest problem is going to be not being frustrated, and not being frustrated if her back is not as neat as she used to like, and not being frustrated if it doesn't go as smoothly as she expects it to at first, because of course it's going to take practice, and it's going to take patience, and she's going to have to train her fingers how to do this, just like she had to train her fingers how to do beading, and how to do the scratch art, and how to write again. She's had to retrain her hands how to do things, because when they kind of stopped working well, she's had to relearn how to do things. So she's gonna have to relearn how to hold a needle as well, and I hope she doesn't get frustrated. I think that's going to be the biggest hurdle for her to jump, is being patient with the learning curve. But I am excited that she wants to try it, so we'll see how that goes, and I'll give you guys updates. I think that is it for this week. I'm at almost 44 minutes already, so hopefully this doesn't cut off. But have a great stitchy week, you guys, and in the meantime, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. Bye-bye.